One knife.
Go. Okay, so now proceed with the next part. Anya Krishna Rahaja, you have 20 minutes of presentation and 45 minutes for Q&A. You will be given already. You may start the time when she begins.
Okay, great. Okay, so hi everyone, thank you for the feedback that was mentioned to me just now during the break. I will try to incorporate as much of it as possible into my answers, which is for now, I want to take this time to re-clarify some of my answers that I think I could have mentioned it better or worded it better as opposed to what I said initially. So based on the feedback, I think that my three biggest areas of improvement when it comes to answering questions is to firstly involve other stakeholders, such as the VP FOP, the president, the Hanjen SEC, as well as not just going straight to the SDO. The second piece of feedback that I received was generally just to involve your team more and be more benevolent towards them, in a sense create a culture where you minimize the conflict as much as possible instead of trying to instigate as much conflict. Instead of instigating more conflict, more so than possible. Even more conflict. And then the third point of feedback that I received most was just to take more time to think of an answer so that I can make it as specific and detailed as possible, which I will attempt to do during the questioning. But so the first question that I think I kind of was the most flippant about was the question about what to do if the SDO tells you that they need LT27 even though you've booked it for the games trial. So probably the changes to my answer now that I've received the feedback is probably just that I would first inform the VP FOP of this new piece of information, and then maybe we could try to talk to the Hanjen together to see just confirm if the venue has been booked already, and to also communicate with the SDO to understand the reasons why this happened, or what if it could have been prevented in the first place. Especially since this is a games trial, I really would not want this to happen in the actual event. So then that's why I think it's really important to communicate with the SDO along with the VP FOP to understand the reasons for this to happen and how it could have been prevented in the very first place. Another thing that I'd like to clarify is on how I would ideally manage conflicts within my team, more specifically towards if somebody is inactive or if basically if one of my heads or one of my execs is inactive, what I would do in that regard. So I think that I would do two things. Firstly, I would delegate tasks more efficiently towards the other execs. If it was the case that a subcommittee, a division head was inactive, I would try to delegate more tasks towards the subcommittee executives to see if whether or not they're capable of stepping up to fill in the gaps in manpower. But then the second thing, the second part of this approach is for when I'm trying to approach the person who is inactive, it's best not to go with a very aggressive direct approach, but rather to be a bit more forgiving and a bit more lenient towards their situation. So yeah, these are the two biggest points of clarification that I'd like to get on with. So with that, I think that ends my presentation.
You have 10 minutes, 16 minutes, 28 seconds left for presentation. If you want to end it. May I have a proposal to open the Q&A for the committee?
Okay, Anya Krishna Raja, you have
Already.
Okay. Open up Q&A already.
Haven't open now.
We have a proposal to open the Q&A for the nominee Anya Krishna Raja for the portfolio 46. For the portfolio of Science Faculty Induction Director for the 46 Science Management Committee 34.
I am Chimoya to Chemistry Director for the Q&A for the nominee Anya Krishna Raja for the portfolio of Science Faculty Induction Director for the 46 Science Management Committee.
Okay, may I have a second place motion?
I do session did the one licenses when I second this motion.
Okay, so Anya Krishna Raja, you now have 45 minutes for Q&A. I, on your way, year 1 mathematics, have one question for you. In a hypothetical scenario, post your term, POSA flags out one of your sponsorship posts on Instagram as it fails to follow the guidelines and requests to take it down. Outline your thought process and course of action. Sorry, there is 2 questions.
Oh, sorry. So just to clarify, the situation is that we have a sponsorship post and WhatsApp flags it.
Yeah.
So
POSA finds it, requests to take it down because it doesn't follow guidelines.
okay.
Outline your thought process and course of action.
Do they provide a specific guideline that we violated, or is it just guidelines?
Your discretion.
Okay. And was this post, was it on the FOP Instagram post or the US Science Club Instagram?
FOP.
All right, so my first course of action would just to relay this information to the VP FOP and try to approach the OSA representative who flagged our post for violating guidelines. The specific question that I would like to ask them is probably on what guidelines it is that we're violating and what changes that they would like to see so that the post becomes rectified. If upon getting an answer from what kind of guidelines we violated, I would like to communicate this with the FOPCC Pubs member who was in charge of making the post and ask them to change the edit the post with regards to the guidelines that OSA wants us to follow.
Okay. I'm Chimoya to Chemistry. I have one question. There's 2 questions for you. So in a hypothetical scenario, the REC director approaches you, asking to include a 1-hour segment on the second day of sci-fi to advertise REC and encourage sci-fi freshmen to watch. Outline your thoughts and course of action. For read takers, in a hypothetical scenario, the rec director approaches you, asking to include a 1 hour segment on the second day of sci-fi to advertise, rec, and encourage sci-fi freshmen to watch. Outline your thoughts and course of action.
Okay, so assuming that the VP FOP does not already know about this, I would inform him about it. My question, I would probably have to have a very long discussion with the rec director about this. Okay, by the way, this is under the premise or under the assumption that this happens before any of the plans are finalized, because after the plans are finalized by my progs team, progs team, I don't think it would be I think it'd be very difficult to squeeze 1 hour of an unrelated activity into the program, especially since there's not much of an urgency to do this, if that makes sense. So I would just assume that this happens before all the the schedule for day 2 or the entire orientation becomes finalized. So following that, I would try to ask the programs team I would first ask the programs team what activities they generally have planned out for day 2 of the orientation, and ask them if it's possible given the schedule. And if it's not possible, then that's just the kind of information that I'll relate to the rec director. But if it is in fact possible, I would ask them to provide more details about it, what time or how this would match up with our venues and stuff like that. Because if the venue for the performance is very far away from the venue for the rest of the activities for day 2, then I think that it's not it's unfavorable, if that makes sense. So I would try to also ask the rec director to see if they can make compromises to their 1 hour program to try to make it match our program as much as possible.
Hi, within the year 1 life sciences, I have one question for you. In a hypothetical scenario, 1 week before sci-fi camp starts, one of your OGLs comes up to you stating that he or she wants to opt out of sci-fi camp due to personal reasons. Outline your course of action.
Okay, so my first line of action regarding this scenario would be to ask my VP FOP if the SDO needs to be aware of this or like if it needs to be involved in this, because I understand that the reason why SDO is so involved in like these orientation camps is because a lot of the games can like maybe sometimes there are like safety hazards involved, and that's why they need to be aware of it. So that in the case of like any emergency or like accident where somebody accidentally injures themselves, then there's like this understanding that the cause was not likely because of the nature of the games and probably because of the nature of like other circumstances while the games were being played. And since the OGLs are the ones who are facilitating these kinds of games, it is important, I would assume, or like I would need to clarify whether the SDO needs to like kind of approve or like vet the list of OGLs who are able to come on that day. So for any replacements that we need to find for this OGL who dropped out, just like would like SDO need to approve of this candidate first. As for the replacement or like how we would find the replacement, I think one possible course of action is to kind of like maybe we could potentially go through the list of participants who were rejected, and because like these are the people who in the first place have the motivation to become OGLs in the very first place, and just like have a discussion with them and like let them know about the circumstances and like the kinds of responsibilities that they need to step up to. Yeah.
I, Joshua Dillon, Year 1 Life Sciences, would like to ask you 2 questions. What are your plans on integrating one FOP into sci-fi camp? Do you know what one FOP is?
Not really.
Do you go for SWT?
Hmm?
Do you go for SWT?
What's that?
The Subcom Welcome Tea.
The what?
Subcom Welcome Tea.
Yeah, but then I was missing for the.
Oh yeah, okay. So basically, one FOP is integrating like a storyline throughout all the FOPs. So Scam and Sal will have connecting storylines to sci-fi, for example.
Okay.
So what are your plans on integrating this into sci-fi camp?
All right, so I think for this question, it's very clear that the planning has to be done as early as possible to make sure that the storyline is like as cohesive as it can possibly get between these three orientation camps. I would probably want to focus on having very frequent meetings with the SCAMP and SALA directors, and like also frequent checks to like make sure that the storyline is consistent. Like in a sense that like maybe I would frequently ask members of the site yeah, we would like ask members of FOPCC to like get feedback to make sure that the storyline makes sense to them as well, and not just like the three people who are coming up with the storyline. And also I think that this could be beneficial to like to make sure that the process of making the story is as transparent as possible, so that like the FOPCC subcommittees can find like other ways to integrate the storyline into like the games, for example, which is relevant for the progs team, or like also to integrate the storyline into like the design, which is like relevant for progs.
For my second question, do you know what step up is?
Do I know what?
Step up is.
Step up.
Yeah, so basically, step up is something run by Flag. It's like a marathon. So it's a fundraiser marathon, and step up is after sci-fi, and normally it has low turnout rates. So the Flag director asked if it's possible to integrate a segment about Flag into like sci-fi camp. So what's your course of action?
Okay, so again, assuming that my VP FOP does not know about this, I would tell him about it. I think that there's like a lot of questions that needs to be asked about like the segment, because I think just like a segment to promote step up is like kind of vague. So there's like a lot of questions that need to be answered, such as like what kind of segment, like what is the nature of the segment, like do they just want us to like flash a poster on screen, or is it like an entire like promotional video? I would also want to ask like how long they would like for this segment to be, ideally, to promote step up. And also, ideally, I think it would be Flag who's designing the segment, because it's their promotional material. So I think that's something I also want to make clear during any discussions with the Flag director. But overall, I think that like with enough planning, I think it should be okay. Like obviously I need to like involve my progs team to see like where they can fit it into the schedule. But yeah, I think that like as long as they're engaged and with enough planning, I think it should be okay.
Okay, thanks John from Civil Science. I have one question for you. In a hypothetical scenario, the president and honorary treasurer have decided to funnel more resources from sci-fi into SCAM. Outline your course of action.
Okay, so my first course of action would probably just to go with the VP FOP to ask the president and the Honti why specifically the resources were funneled out of sci-fi, and also how much resources were funneled out of sci-fi. And I would also like to know like what these resources will be used for, and like for how long basically. Following that, I would also tell the programs team about it and see like how like to what extent are the sci-fi like operations affected by this like remove or like by this deduction of resources. If it's a deduction to the extent that the quality of the camp will be compromised, then like I would try to like maybe go with the VP FOP to the Honti to like maybe request a bit more and like see if it's possible.
Okay. Edwin.
In a hypothetical situation where the NUS would be half of the order territories less an hour to complete them, what actions will you take?
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think I'll be very stressed out in this situation, but I would firstly, again, if the VP FOP is not aware of the situation, then I would inform him about it to work on possible solutions. So, for example, one possible solution that I thought about was like in the unlikely event that the vendor is able to get the remaining half of the orders sent to campus in like an hour, which is unlikely, but I don't think there's any harm in trying. Then like I think that's something that's like one possible course of action. But if that's not feasible, then I would try to contact the Honti to see like just to let them know that like about the situation. Because what another possible solution that I thought of was to just have the participants like purchase their own food from like the canteens as long as they have something to eat. But the issue with this is that like by right, the camp fee is supposed to include like a lunch by itself. So that's why I want to try to ask the Honti to see if it's like possible to get like reimbursements. Like I know it's going to be a very complicated process, but I think that like this like we did promise like the participants of the camp this kind of experience. So like yeah, like that's why I think it's justified.
Actually, your one life sciences has one question for you. In a hypothetical scenario during sci-fi, SDO is patrolling around to observe the safety and well-being of participants. They inform the station masters of a particular station that the games are making the freshmen uncomfortable and demanded the station to be changed and stopped immediately. Outline your course of action.
Okay, so I think that one preventative measure that could have been taken to avoid this kind of situation from happening altogether is to because like I think that like we would know if the SDO was not fine with a particular game because like there are proposals for games testing and like I don't think that this would happen like during the day of sci-fi itself, considering that we have like 2 or 3 games testings to begin with. So if there was like a particular game that they were uncomfortable with, then I think that ideally it would have been changed to something even before the actual sci-fi. So that's like a preventative measure. However, I think that if it were to actually be the case that SDO realizes that like, oh, this game is actually not great for certain freshmen, I think one course of action is to if the VP FOP was not aware of this, then I would inform them. But I think that in particularly this kinds of situations, there's like not really any time to, like carry out the due process of like emailing them for like why this had to be the case or like, just like emailing them why this had to be the case and like finding out what their reasons were for wanting to pivot and change the game entirely. I don't think that like this is the kind of situation that you are able to do that. So I think that in this case, if the SDO staff member is still around the area, then hopefully like maybe like, we could approach them to ask why it had to be changed. But if not, then like again, I don't think we have time for like emails. I think that we would just have to like pivot and change the game to something a lot more safe altogether. However, I think that another preventative measure we could have towards this is to have like reserve games that happen. Just like to have reserve games planned out in the case of like, like something happens and we can't carry out a certain game.
I only know mathematics have one question for you. In a hypothetical scenario, sci-fi is drawing near, but one of your procs executive does not want to do any work. Other members in the subcom have tried talking to him or her, but to no avail. This is causing a lot of tension as a result. How would you react in this situation?
Repeat.
Oh. Sorry, let me repeat again. One of your procs executive in your subcom does not want to do work. Other members in your subcom have tried talking to him or her, but no avail. This is causing a lot of tension as a result. How would you react in this situation? And for context, sci-fi is drawing near.
Okay, so I think that the general guiding principle for how to deal with the situation as the sci-fi director is probably not with like hostility. Like I would, if it has to come down to the case where I need to communicate with them, I would try to ask them like get to know their reasons better and like ask them why like now out of all other times, like why is it now when like 80% of the planning is done, do you like want to like are you not as motivated as before, if that makes sense. And I would like relay this information also to the prog's head to see like if like I think it should be like a three-way conversation between myself, the program's head, and also the executive who is currently unmotivated to see like it has to like discuss different courses of action and see which one the program's executive would be the most favorable to. Um, and then following that, I would also ask the program's head to like check in on the executive frequently, like in terms of the progress of their task and like in general, if they need help with anything. However, I understand that in these kinds of situations, it's important not to appear as though you are favoring the person who is like not contributing as much to the overall project. So I would also make it a point to provide support to the other members of the programs team, especially because they're working like slightly, like they're working a bit harder to make up for their inactive executive.
Okay, we have a proposal to close the Q&A for the nominee Anya Krishna Rahaja for the portfolio of Science Faculty Induction Director for the 46 Science Management Committee for
And then we go here to Cambridge, I suppose, to close the Q&A on the nominee, Anya Krishna Raja, for the portfolio for the Science Faculty Induction Director for the Science Foundation.
Okay, may I have a second on this motion, Dylan?
I, Leo Sasha Dylan, Yuan has essential like
Okay. That's fine. Now proposal to close the portfolio of Science Faculty Induction Director for the 46 Science Hub Management Committee. Junfo. Okay, may I have a seconder for this motion, Dylan?
Year one life sciences would like to second this.
Okay, so now may I have a proposal for a 5-minute break from 2:10 to 2:15 p.m. Junfo. We have a proposal to resume the internal elections for the 46 Science Management Committee June form. We have a second for this motion, Dylan. Okay, we have a proposal to open the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Management Committee. June form.
Propose to open the nomination for flag director for 46 Science Management Committee.
We have a second for this motion, Dylan. Okay, are there any nominations for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Management Committee, Dylan?
I, Assumption Dylan Year 1 Life Sciences, would like to nominate Yeo Jong Han, Year 1 Data Science and Analytics for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee.
We have a second for this motion, Rina.
Rina, year 1, data science and analytics. Where's the second this motion?
Okay. Are there, oh sorry, Yeo Chang Han, do you accept the nomination for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee?
Yeo Chang Han, Year 1 Data Science Analytics Major, accept the portfolio of the.
Would like to accept the nomination.
Yeah, would like to accept the nomination for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee.
Okay, are there any more nominations for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee? Are there any more nominations for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee? Are there any more nominations for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee? As there are no more nominations, we have a proposal to close the nominations of the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee. Shifo. We have a second for this motion, Dylan. Okay, Yeo Chang Han, you have 20 minutes for presentation and 45 minutes for Q&A. We begin, we are ready. Many takers, please start. Testing.
Okay. Hi guys. So my name is Zhang Han, or some around you know me as Zach. And today I'll be sharing with you guys my 46 science flag. Okay, wait, first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to still present despite the time constraint. So I'll make this quick and easy for you guys, informative as well. And I'll be going through my presentation for 46 science flag. Okay. So here are the tables of content. Today I'll be going through about me section, the mission and vision I have for science flag, some quantitative goals and workshop initiatives that I will be going through, the timeline for this coming this AY, some challenges foreseen, as well as the target amount raised and how. So a little bit about myself. I'm a year 1 data science and analytics major. I like to play badminton and volleyball, and I'm also a Vela House resident. Yes, I'm also part of the Vela House cluster committee. And some past leadership experience that I have is that I was also part of youth corps for my community club. So I was part of the service management team, and I was in charge of doing the Halloween events there. In JC, I was also part of the class com. And yeah, these are some past leadership experience that I have. And furthermore, I like to eat hot dog. And my quote is, desire to improve is more important than the experience you start with. Yes, I live by that. And that is a picture of me. I think it was taken in, Malaysia. Yeah. So now I'll be talking more about science flag and what it means to me. So to me, science flag is also part of FOPCC, right? So my mission is to create engaging opportunities for science students and for freshmen to form new friendships, feel included, and give back to the wider community through meaningful service projects. So one good thing about science flag is that I see it as not only just a freshman orientation program, but also at the same time, it's a fundraising event. So in a way, this committee is includes both aspects of having an engagement and also giving back to the community as part of Flag Lab. Yeah. So I have a strong vision to lead this team in becoming a more welcoming and dynamic and a well-recognized community. So as most of y'all would know, science flag may or may not be underappreciated. But to me, I see it as a way to, at the end of the day, it's for freshmen to come and also enjoy themselves and also get to know each other. So I emphasize on being more welcoming and more well-recognized. Yes. And also providing stronger support for all its members. There are some quantitative goals that I would like to discuss with you guys. First of all, flag events. I would like to increase the workshop participation from 20 to at least 20 to 25 packs on average. Speaking to previous flag directors and predecessors, I noticed a similar trend of the low attendance rate in terms of flag. And I have, thanks to Dylan and all my other subcommittee members who have given me feedback on why this is the case, I somewhat come with a few ideas as to how I plan to increase workshop participations. And this is my goal that I would like to achieve for flag this year if I were to become a director. On the second point, it says increase flag day attendees from beyond REC members to 2 to 5. So I know it's a trend for REC members to join flag day as part of their bonding activity. Yeah, but how I see it is that it shouldn't just be a day where for only REC people come. So a little bit more information about me. I joined flag day as a non-regular. So it was kind of a culture shock for me to come to flag day and realize that I was the only one person who didn't know anyone else there. So I would like to see as, okay, although REC and flag, they are sisters and brothers, right? I would like flag to be more well recognized in terms of promoting the publicity of flag day to other science club members and freshmen, so that they'll be more willing and inclined to come to flag. And also to increase the image of flag in that sense. I'll go into how I plan to do it later, so keep that in mind. The next thing I would like to talk about is some fundraising KPIs that I would like to achieve, which is to secure a minimally of 10 sponsorship for Step Up. This is not corporate sponsorship, don't worry. I'm just talking about some KIV items that are provided for flaggers, for runners on Step Up Day. So for example, drinks, etc., maybe acai, who knows. So these are the kind of things that I have in mind when it comes to what I want to have for sponsorships and stuff for Step Up. And next, I want to talk about Give Asia. So Give Asia, if you all don't know, right, it's an online donation platform where students are allowed to come and donate through online donations. Basically, alumni or science bodies are able to do it. I'm not too sure why last year they didn't implement this, but this year I would like to implement this Give Asia online donation platform for students. This will help us achieve my target amount for flag that I want to achieve in terms of fundraising. Yes. Thirdly, beneficiary engagement, very important. I have yet to spoken to Ben about this, but I hope we can come to a consensus on what kind of beneficiary engagement we would like to have, or which partner beneficiaries we would want. This is very important on how we want to decide. To me, it's very important on how we want to decide the beneficiaries, because it will drive how we would like to publicize REC and flag to students. So it has to be something that the science body or the science students will be keen to support, so that they are more willing to come for flag day, join workshops, and go for Step Up. Yes. I plan to make the engagements 1.5 to 2.5 hours long, and host at least 3 engagement sessions with proposed beneficiaries. Engagement sessions will be obviously tailored to our partnered beneficiaries now. Yeah. So here are some workshop initiatives that myself, Dylan, and my subcommittee has already came up with. One of it is the Lego Bouquet workshop. This is one of the most popular workshop requests when we did our survey. So I'll little bit going through the timeline lah. So how I plan to implement each workshop according to the AY and why I chose those time for the workshops to happen. So this Lego workshop, matcha bowl painting workshop, and acrylic tote bag workshop. I put and more here because these are not finalized. I'm always open to suggestions and feedback from other SCMC members as well as the science body. So if you guys have any ideas on how we can further improve the workshops to drive engagement or whatever, so any problems you have with the workshops that we plan to have, I'm always willing to listen and open to these ideas. Yeah. And more also means that we may or may not have workshop, fourth workshop, depending on the budget and time allocation that we have for each subcom members. So I'm always taking into account all these subcommittees and all these constraints. Yeah. So here are the timeline that I have in mind for flag. February will be Valentine's Day booth. March, I chose to put Lego workshop there because I think that during this period, right, students would be somewhat getting to know each other, and the Lego bouquet workshop would be a good gift lah. So it is one of the workshops that I have in mind, but also at the same time, all these events happening would be on a case-by-case basis lah, based on scenario. And engagement sessions will spread out across April, May, and June. Depending on our timeline and time frame, we would be able to shift this around. And also, I would like to take into consideration SCAM, SAL, and Sci-Fi preparations on June and July, and as well as August, where I think REC and FLAG should occur during this period. So I would like to push all of these events beforehand so that we as CMSC members and subcommittee members will be able to cater enough time for these preparations. And traditionally step up occurs after RNF Carnival. So at the end of the day, for us, FLAG specifically, FLAG Day, RNF Carnival, and step up is very important. So we'll take into consideration these 3 events when we are planning and ensuring that they are done properly and that they are engaging and they are fun. Yes. So here are some challenges foreseen that I have thought in mind when I came up with the slides. Number 1, not enough participation and donations. I think this is a problem that all of us have in mind when it comes to FLAG. There are not a lot of, publicity out right now for FLAG. I noticed that not only a lot of people don't know what FLAG is, they know what REC is, they don't know what FLAG is. So it's a big problem lah. Because I still realize that REC and FLAG comes together. So it should be a case where students are coming down and supporting the beneficiaries, not just being part of something bigger like REC. Yes. So how I see it as a way to deal with this is by handing out flyers, implementation of Instagram Reels, TikToks, online engagement is very important. And also, this point on giving out small freebies for workshop. My idea was that each workshop, right, can be publicized as not just somewhere where people can learn to make all these items, but also at the same time, when they come, they are shown that they're told that they are appreciated for coming down. Presence is very important, and also that their money will be placed to good use. So their money, right, the amount that they give us to fundraise would be used to help our partner beneficiaries. So I want to make sure that they understand that, and so that they are more willing, and also the image of FLAG improves. Last point is on FLAG Day. So FLAG Day for us is, like I mentioned, a very important day. So what I proposed is that there will be a short training sessions for flaggers. So this doesn't have to be a full day thing. It doesn't have to be a half day thing. It can just be an hour thing. So I see it as, okay, you come down, you volunteer yourself as a flagger, right? You get to know yourself with other flaggers, make new friendships. And at the same time, we teach you, we tell you, okay, how do you approach people? How do you tell them that, oh, you're doing this for our partner beneficiaries? Or if you're not happy with our partner beneficiaries, tell them it's for community chairs. There's a lot of things that you can do to help out, to help fundraise and to help volunteer yourself to approach people in a more comfortable and natural way so that you don't feel anxious at all. Yeah, so this is one way I can think of trying to increase the volunteer turnout for Flag Day. And challenge number 2, manpower shortage and burnout. This is more catered to my own subcom for Flag. I as a director would have to ensure that there are clear role allocations and so that my sub-committee members don't feel the stress, especially as they are working under me. And if there are any sort of disagreements within the subcommittee members, I will be able to help them as well. Protection of no event week. This is a welfare that I would like to propose for my subcom members. There are a lot of periods in between events where my subcommittee members are able to come up with proposals and stuff like that. So I don't expect them to do it. I expect there to be ample time given to them to come up with proposals and stuff like that. But if there was ever a time where they feel burned out or stressed, I would like them to come to concede to me, and I would like to voice out my concern and give out my advice case by case basis. Yeah. Welfare lunches and dinner, this is very informal. I don't expect it to be a formal thing, but I would like to, for the sake of the welfare of my subcommittees, have some frequent lunches and dinners for them as well. Yes. So, target amount, $5,000. So, why this amount, you ask? So, I did some analysis from previous years, flagged amount raised. I noticed that previous 2 years ago, they raised about $7,000. Then this year, this year, which is 45th club, they raised about $3,000. And they targeted about $9,000. So that was like a huge, like the variance was quite high. So I chose an in-between amount, which was $5,000. Yeah. So this $5,000, how I plan to increase will be on the next slide. How I wish to reach this target goal. Number 1, like I said, improve workshop participation, host more relevant and engaging workshops for students. Not just that, I was just told that Dylan, the FOPCC director, president, wants to include 1 FOP. So I plan to increase that for implement that for Step Up. Yes. I'll talk more about that later during Q&A. And also for Promote Give Asia, this is one of the things that I would spearhead because I think it's very important that online donations is available for science and alumni. So I included collaboration with ARC because I think I haven't spoken to Suzanne yet, but yeah, I want to get to know more about alumni and how we can better make use of them. Cannot make use of them, but allow them to come up and like engage Flag . So you know how like there are maybe some alumni, right, who have done Flag before or in the past, they want to donate to partner beneficiaries that they feel that are more meaningful to them. So I would like to propose Give Asia so that they can like donate some sums, or even better if I can get corporate sponsorships, I'm always willing to open up. Willing to hear, yes. And this doesn't just include ARC. I'm also willing to talk to SBC also on how I can improve Flag in terms of for our beneficiaries and making it more engaging. Yes. Increase volunteers on Flag Out Day. Reduce anxiety flagging with short training sessions, as mentioned. Appeal to students' values and sense of giving back. So what I mean by this is by giving students the option and opportunity on how they wish to give back to the community. So be it Give Asia or volunteer yourselves to Flag, or basically spreading the word of mouth. Or basically, we can also say, okay, if you cannot join all of these, right, maybe would you be interested in joining workshops, for example, or for Step Up, yeah, etc. So this can be part of the main idea I have for publicity-wise in terms of flag. Yeah. Show appreciation in terms of providing drinks, be it formally, informally, we can always cater some budget to show some appreciation for flaggers who come down on their way to do some volunteering to fundraise. Yes. Yeah. So this concludes the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and I will go to the Q&A.
Yo Chang-Han, you have 2 minutes and 21 seconds left for presentation. Do you wish to end your presentation now?
Yes.
You may have a proposal to open the Q&A for the nominee Yo Chang-Han for the portfolio flag director for the 46 Science Management Committee Teacher 4.
I am familiar with chemistry lab with those who for the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Management.
You have a second for this motion, Dylan?
I was also Dylan, year 1 accesses.
Okay, Yo Chang-Han, you now have 45 minutes for Q&A. Evelyn.
For context, flex income is primarily generated through fundraising events which are used to support external beneficiaries. During one of flex workshops, a participant requested to know the exact amount that Science Flag will be donating to the external beneficiaries. Outline your course of action.
Okay, so this is a rather straightforward question, I feel. If someone were to come up to me and ask me what's the exact amount that I'm contributing back to FLAG, first of all, I would like to thank them. They are concerned enough to know that, okay, my money is my choice. I want to contribute it so that it goes for a good cause. So first of all, I'll reassure them that, hey, you know, your money, when you give it to us, it's not for us, it's for the beneficiaries. So for obvious reasons, I wouldn't be able to disclose the exact amount because, yeah, I wouldn't be able to share the exact amount that we garner, be it from previous events or the events that we're having now. But I will show them photos and videos of the people or how we are planning to engage and contribute back to the partner beneficiaries so that they have at least a sense of idea of, hey, okay, this is what my money is going back to, you know, like I'm not just giving them money so that they can spend it on whatever. This is the kind of thing that I am doing to the partner beneficiaries so that they feel more comfortable that their money is going to somewhere of a good cause and that they are more willing and able to, you know, help me out a bit. And like, if there are any other concerns, I will be willing to help them out lah. So this is how I would engage the student or whoever participant that joined the workshop. Yeah.
Okay, I only year 1 mathematics have 2 questions for you. In a hypothetical scenario, a Bella House signature event clashes with one of your flag events. Given your role as part of the cluster committee and as flag director, outline your thoughts and course of action. How many takers is okay? I'll put it in the doc. Do you need me to repeat again?
Yes, please.
Okay, sorry, assume me. In a hypothetical scenario, a Valor House signature event clashes with one of your flag events. Given your role as part of the cluster committee and as flag director, outline your thoughts and course of action.
May I add clarification? So, at the time of me knowing that they clashes, right? Is everything finalized already, or is it just that gap where I'm able to sort things out?
I'd say it's very hard to sort things out by then.
Okay, can. Okay. How I would like to go about this first is I'd like to preface that if I were to become flag director, I would have to manage my time very wisely. So in terms of what I mean by this is that for Valor House and my own commitments, right, in SCMC, is that I will ensure that there are more time given to flag because, and here's my reasoning, is because Valor House committee has sufficient members and most of the events that we hold are low stakes. To me, flag is high stakes, and I think that how I will go about this is that if there is some clashes, right, I would first assess the situation. So what is the event that I'm hosting, first of all, for flag? Is it step up? Is it flag day? Is it an engagement? All this will take into consideration in terms of how I would go about doing it. I'll engage VP, FOC, and also as well my vice director. So my vice director would, me and my vice director, we will discuss. So if the engagement session is somewhat of a high stakes, or if it's a flag day of this, for example, I would personally take the time out of my day to, I'll personally choose going to flag rather than my Valor House signature event, because I know for once that I have friends who are able to cover me for events such as Valor House. And I will also ensure that in a scenario of flag day, it's very important for directors or people like me who want to see things go smoothly to be there to ensure that engagement is up, morale is up, and that people are willing and able to put in the effort to see things go through. So to answer your question, I would choose someone from Valor House to come and personally help me to step in to engage in the signature event, keep me posted, and I will be present at flag to help to ensure that things are going smoothly. And yeah, that will be how I will do, that will be the way I would handle this situation.
Sorry, Chloe. Okay.
Hi, Darishan Chloe. Year 1 Data Science and Analytics have one question for you. What is the value of flag considering we already have SVC to cater to science students interested in volunteering? For the minute taker, this is question 55.
And I think you might want to hear Ben's question as well. Some similarities.
Let's see my question. I Benjamin, you have year 1 life sciences and one question for you. In a hypothetical scenario, after deciding and sending a proposal regarding the beneficiary of choice, the SBC director comes up to you stating that they have also chosen the same beneficiary and there is a conflict of interest. Outline your thought process and your course of action. Sorry, that's 2 questions. For the minute takers, I'll repeat again. In a hypothetical scenario, after deciding and sending a proposal regarding the beneficiary of choice, the SBC director comes up to you stating that they have also chosen the same beneficiary and there is a conflict of interest. Outline your thought process and course of action.
Alright, so I'll first answer Chloe's question. What is the value of flag since we have SVC? So how I'll answer this question is by first emphasizing on one very important factor, and that is red and flag is an event hosted by NUS. So at the end of the day, Frag and Flag is a freshman orientation program. It's under FOPCC after all. So how it separates itself from SVC is the fact that it incorporates the idea of freshman orientation into providing back to the wider community. So I can emphasize to whoever asks me this question that Flag has a competitive aspect. We are being judged by NUS. We are given 50% engagement, 50% fundraising. So in a way, we are not purely doing it for fundraising. We are also allowing students to do their part by making new friends and also coming down for this engagement and also trying to secure us a higher tier award for Flag itself. So I see it similar to SAL, SCAM, and Sci-Fi, which is where when people come down to Flag, right, which is also why I bring back to the point where I want to have a short 1 hour session where people get to know each other. Because I think it's very important that once we have this, right, we were able to form new connections amongst freshmen so that when they do Flag itself, right, they are familiar with each other already. So they're even more comfortable to fundraise, if you understand my point of view. Yeah, so that is how I would separate myself from SVC. To Ben's question, what would I do once I find out that SVC has partnered with the same beneficiary and it clashes after I send in my proposal? Okay, so for this question, I would definitely have a meeting together with FOPCC, REC director, SVC director, to have a short discussion as to, okay, so why did this happen in the first place? So we are supposed to liaise with each other in terms of who we want to partner with, right? So, okay, is it because I sent in my proposal without asking anyone first? So if that is the case, right, I'll apologize because in a way, it was a lackluster part on my part to send in a proposal without consulting SVC first. Yeah. And second of all, I will do some damage control. So I'll understand if we have clashing in partner beneficiaries, one of us will have to help out. We can't have the same partner beneficiaries for both subcommittees. So I would then bring in FOPCC and the REC director and compromise on a way where we can fit into all our own ideas on who we want to partner with. So, for example, for Flag, if you want to do something, for FOPCC, we want to incorporate something more of one FOP as well. We can partner with children, for example. And for REC director, if Ben wants to have someone that we want to partner with, like elderlies, etc., I would take into consideration all of these and propose a new partner beneficiaries that I would send into. At the same time, not to mention, NUS and SDO would have to be keep in line with this, because if I send in my proposal already, it means that they also approve of my partner beneficiaries as well. It's not approved, but they probably receive my proposal and are on the way of vetting them. So I will send in an emergency email telling them that, hey, so there's some clashes in terms of who we're partnering with, SBC as well. So I would like to send in a new proposal to ensure that they do not there's no miscommunication in our end. Personally, if there are issues that we cannot come down to a common consensus, I would have to do more research on which partner beneficiaries would drive engagement for students, and also which partner beneficiaries that we think will allow us to raise more funds so that we can help them more. And of course, all of this comes together with SBC lah. So if they think they can do a better job for the partner beneficiaries, go ahead. We want the best for them as well. So we would step back and we'll choose a new one. Yeah. So that's how I would go about choosing a new beneficiary in a case where there's clashes.
Okay, I only way your mathematics have one question for you. Rec and flag have a shared budget known as rec and flag budget, which is used to plan beneficiary visits and possibly barbecue for some of the subcom members. In a hypothetical scenario, after the budget allocation has been completed, the rec director approaches you stating that he requires extra funds for purchase of foundation material for rec preparation, and this will eat into the rec and flag budget. Outline your course of action. Do I need to repeat again?
It's okay. Okay, so it's a very realistic question, I feel. In the a chance that Ben comes to me and tell me that they need more money for rec, I would do the first thing I would do is that I will consult FOPCC and HOMT. I would like to consult them and ask them, hey, I know it's after budget allocations. Is there any way that we can readjust the budget for flag and rec? And how much does Ben need in order to support the logistics that he needs for rec? So this is my first plan or first thought of action when it comes to this scenario. And the most likely chance that we cannot adjust budget, my first idea is that we would propose new. So for me and Ben, right, we'll discuss on ways that I can. Okay, so you want to use my budget, right? Sure. How can I use the items that you have left over for my flag? So in a way, I use the money to help help rec, right, can I somewhat use the items beforehand, and then can I pass it to you so that you can use it for rec as well? So for example, you mentioned supports, right? So maybe this kind of supports, like maybe you can use it for some of the workshops, or we can use it for step up, or we can use it for any other events that we have for flag, so that it's justified that are helping you. So the budget doesn't just purely go to flag itself, it's also helping flag at the same time. Yes. And of course, we have two subcommittees for a reason. Is there any support that we can get from our subcommittee is also a question. As well as SCAM, SAL, and Sci-Fi directors, I will personally go to y'all and ask y'all, hey, do you guys have any logistics that we can share? Anything that I can help my friend out, help my friend Ben out to help for his rec stuff. So like supports, like do you guys have any leftovers items for this camp? Am I able to provide them to Ben? So those are the first two ideas that I have in mind. And if everything fails, right, and you really need the money, right, I can propose a fundraiser for you guys. So as Flag, right, we are sisters and brothers, so obviously I would propose a fundraiser that we can use. So this fundraiser isn't specifically for beneficiaries, but for Flag, at least for REC. So I would propose coming up with booths or some events that we can hold so that we can raise enough funds to help support REC in terms of monetary problems. Yes. So we don't always have to use our budget. We can also think of ways that we can fundraise to help Ben in terms of buying logistics for REC as well. Yes.
Next, okay, but before that, I think moving forward we can address Dylan, right? Dylan, you register as DPFOP instead of FOPCC.
Oh.
Or you can thank Rina.
Okay, I, Nancy and Rina, year 1 data science and analytics, have 2 questions for you. So my first question, in a hypothetical scenario, your flag subcommittee members were late to report at the various flag locations. Late being 45 minutes to 1 hour due to unforeseen circumstances. Flaggers present were extremely unhappy and want to leave the locations. Outline your course of action.
Sorry, for clarification, this is Flag Day, is it?
Flag Day, yes.
Yeah.
For minute takers, in a hypothetical scenario, your flag subcommittee members were late to report at the various flag locations. Late being 45 minutes to 1 hour due to unforeseen circumstances. Flaggers present were extremely unhappy and want to leave. Outline your course of action. For clarification, it's on Flag Day.
Wait, can I add one more clarification? When you mention subcommittee members, do I assume that all of them are late or just a few of them?
All were late.
All. Okay. So to repeat the question is what would I do when my subcommittee is late for flag day? So I would be okay. The first thing I would do is that when I get to the venue, I would assume that my subcommittee is late lah. I'm not late lah. I assume that I'm there and I would personally apologize on behalf of my subcommittee. As a director, I feel like it's very important to own up for responsibilities when your subcommittee mess up. And I think it's very unfair for flaggers to wait for that long to start an event that they signed up and volunteered for. So apologizing is the first thing to do. And next thing in mind, I would inform at VPFOP about this situation. This is a huge mistake, I feel, because having people be unhappy about Flag Day itself says a lot about the reputation of Flag. So we want it to be such a way that we are making Flag more well recognized in a good way, not in a bad way. So in a way, if there is a manpower shortage, right, I would try to analyze, okay, so who can I help? Who can I ask to help me in the situation that I'm already at ground zero? Who can I ask me to come and help? To help me give out instructions, give out the tin cans, give out the stickers, etc. I will first immediately delegate roles and tasks to whoever is in there, and ensure that everybody knows what to do. Yeah. So for example, if there are any subcommittees or any other subcommittees who are already, even though they're not in flag but are already there to help out, I would ask them to, hey, do you mind helping me out on this so that we can ensure that things go smoothly either way. Yeah. So this is one thing that I would do at the area itself. And also, assuming that everything manages to go according to plan, despite the subcommittee members being late, right? I will call for an after-action review for this particular incident. I would emphasize to my subcommittee members that being late, especially on the day where it represents our subcommittee, is not allowed, is not tolerable. So I would try to ask my subcommittee members, hey, what happened? Why are you late? I want to know why you weren't able to reach there on time. Is it because transportation? Do we have to improve on this for the next batch? How am I going to make this better for Flag in the future? To make sure that people don't see it as in a bad light when such a thing occurs. Damage control can always be, I provide more drinks, because on Flag Day itself, there will be drinks already provided. I'll provide more drinks to those flaggers that waited for so long for my subcommittee, so that at least they don't feel dehydrated. Yeah. So this is how I'll go about dealing with this problem, ensuring that things go according to plan by delegating roles and tasks on the spot, ensuring that none of us are, and ensuring that things like this don't happen again.
Okay, my second question is, one of your subcommittee members complains to you that the reason why Science Flag cannot attain goal is because other faculties have substantial alumni donations, whereas science does not receive as much. As such, they feel demoralized. Outline your course of action. For minute takers, this is Flag question 16.
proposal for 15-minute time extension for Q&A.
I also not yet to issue, right? 15 minutes direction, extension for Q&A.
We have a second please motion.
Hello, session, the new one licenses would like to speak.
Okay. If I have a subcommittee member that feels demoralized about having significantly lower alumni donations, first, I've actually thought about this beforehand, that we should incorporate Give Asia. I mean, we should re-implement Give Asia because I want to see a change where alumni have a platform to donate back. So to tackle this situation where they feel that there's no enough sponsorship, right? First of all, our excess sponsorship decks, our seek help from BPR and VPFOC and see how I can drive up alumni donations. So, and not only that, I would seek help from Suzanne, ARC director, to see how I can better appeal to alumni. So here's the idea that I have in mind, okay? I have a friend who does this flag, and she said that she has a brochure that was given out to every alumni that contains all the information you know about flag, everything they are doing for the partner beneficiaries, etc., etc. At the end of the brochure, there's a QR code to their Give Asia website, which allows alumni to donate to flag. So I would want to implement this if possible for flag, and I would like to emphasize to the student that, hey, I'm trying to increase alumni donations. Unfortunately, because Science Club is not as well known as this club, right? They have more wealthy alumni compared to Science Club. So having said that, I really appreciate that you are looking out for flag and you want us to score gold. I have another solution for you, and that is because flag is not just based on fundraising, right? We have 50% engagement. So why don't you come with me to all these engagement so that we can secure that 50%? So I would like the student to, the subcommittee member to recognize that their efforts are not dull after all. They're still giving back to the wider community, and that if they really want to help with the fundraising part, they can always spread the word through word of mouth, and also if there are any other ways that I can seek help from my publicity team to spread the word on Give Asia through posters or through NUS Telegram chat. I know this is very ambitious, but I've heard of stories where people are able to send messages through NUS Telegram chat to promote their workshops, etc. And also through Science Club. This will greatly help improve the students, the subcommittee's morale in terms of the low alumni donations. Yeah.
What is your plan to market flag to potential sponsors and donors?
One short clarification. The sponsorships, do you refer to KIV sponsorships or corporate? Or like basically value in items, or like they are giving money? What kind of items are they giving to us?
General.
General items, so food and drinks.
Just sponsorships.
Okay. Okay, so the way I would see that how I can offer my services or flex services to sponsorship and donors is, first of all, I would like to tell them that, okay, so this is the partner beneficiaries that we're working with. These are the people that you're helping, and the most easiest way that I can think of to portray this is by giving them brochures. So as I go back to my point where I mentioned about these clubs brochures where alumni were given information and donors were given information about the things that we're doing and how we're supporting the partner beneficiaries. I would also like to market that our engagement, basically the things that we're doing for our partner beneficiaries on the specific set of brochures so that they know that we are doing things that are helping the people that they are paying, when they are giving, when they are donating. For donors, I assume that most of the donors will come from the science club or alumni. I will emphasize that that it will be recognized for us. They will be recognized that they are able to give us such an amount, depending on how much they give us. And I actually tried to ask VPFOP about this, and that is whether or not we are able to quote unquote promote sponsorships or thank our donors during RNF Carnival. Because I think that if we're able to promote, not say promote lah, according to VPR also, we have to follow a set of guidelines when it comes to sponsorship, right? So I think that it will be beneficial that during RNF Carnival, because RNF Carnival has a lot of engagement. So there are a lot of students coming in, right? So I would like to tell them that, hey, how about we include a segment where we have a list of donors or a list of sponsors that help contribute back to FLAG in terms of how they give us money or KIV items, etc., so that they know that this is not just they are not recognized. That they are not recognized for their efforts as well. If possible, I would like to consult VPR and VPFOC about this so that potential sponsorships and donors will be more willing to come and donate their or help us out. Another way I can think of this is that during Step Up, we also have a way of giving back to our sponsors by showing a thank you. Giving IG posts as well, that is straightforward. If IG posts, if our sponsorships are from, have a company, we will also obviously have a IG post that are following within the guidelines of PPR. Yes. I can also think of multiple tier systems where sponsorships, if they come back to us for consecutive years, right, we can do more for them so that they are more inclined to help us more in the future or provide us with more stuff for this year's FLAG. Yes. And with everything in mind, right, my comms team will be helping me along with this so that we can think of ways where we can help and promote to help our sponsorships and donors be more willing to come help us. Yes.
Hi, Mr. Sashin, year 1 licenses. I want to ask you 2 questions. In a hypothetical scenario, during Step Up, one of the participants feedback to you that the first place winner cheated and hence is not deserving of the prize. Outline your course of action.
Okay, so in the case that one of the participants cheated and I was told by one of the participants, what I'll do first is that I'll give you guys some context first. So I think for every marathon, right, there will always be road marshals and there will always be cameras at the finish line. At some point during the race, right, there will be medics and there will be road marshals who will be present to ensure that things go smoothly. So at a case where I am being told that someone cheated, I would consult my comm who are present at the location to find out more about the situation and to get a sensing of whether or not this person truly cut the route or something like that. Because even though it is still an event for people to get to know each other and stuff like that, we will have to take pride in terms of integrity when it comes to a marathon/race. Because prizes they have value, so this is what I would do to ensure that people who participated in the marathon are justified basically when some of this happen. And in a sense that, okay, if this person cheated and it's true that this person cheated based on evidence and also based on testimonials, right, I would redistribute prizes based on the severity. So if this person cheated from the start, right, or cheated halfway, right, I would ensure that there is significant intervention amongst the two parties. So the person that said that you cheated and the person that cheated didn't cheat, cheated, right? I'll ensure that, okay, so I want to make sure there are no tensions between you guys. So I want to know that this person, you did cheat, right? So I would like to have your prizes revoked so that this person who actually finished the race, right, with integrity and honesty, gets the prizes instead. I think as university students, right, you guys would have a certain level of integrity. So I would assume that the participant will be willing to give up their prizes or, in a sense, apologize for having taken away the first spot for the person who actually finished first. And in a way that if the person that, and I'll go to the other scenario where the person didn't cheat, right? I will tell the person that, okay, not to worry, there are always other stations for step up. So there are always other game stations that you can win prizes, or there are other stations that you can try to win. And basically, I want to ensure that there's no bad blood in between the residents, not residents, the participants. Yeah. So that's my go-to plan of action. And if all else fails, right, I would consult VP FOC to tell him about the situation and tell him that, okay, this thing has happened. I'm going to resolve the matter, and nothing's gonna, if there's anything that's going to go severely wrong, I'll let you know. But as a director, I feel that at this kind of level, right, I should be able to resolve the matter by myself. Yes.
Okay, sorry. In the interest of time, we'll ask 2 more questions, one from Dylan and one more from Evelyn.
Okay, my second question is, in a hypothetical scenario, many of the REC subcommittee members are repeatedly unable to make it for beneficiary visits. Outline your course of action.
Evelyn, get through your question.
Hypothetical scenario, at the end of the day, a participant and their team can be uncounted. Outline the course of action.
Okay, I'll make this quick. Okay, so for the first question, REC members cannot make it for visits. Okay, so as you all know, flag engagement has a minimum requirement. So in a sense that if there are not enough people, right, we cannot consider it as engagement. We have to hit a certain amount of required people. So for my first step of action is that I think before those engagements, right, I would like to publicize a new form of group chat to the student body, and that is a Telegram group chat for science flag engagement sessions. So, as if you guys may not have known, but for Shears Flag, right, they had people, they had a Telegram group chat where they post regular engagement sessions with their partner beneficiaries, right? So my idea is that if we had a group chat like this already, right, a few days before the event or a few weeks before, right, we can post a message into their group chat telling them, hey, sign up for this engagement, you know, like, so that we don't open it just to my subcommittee, or the REX subcommittee, we open it to the student body. So in a way, hopefully, when we do send out these kind of messages, we are able to hit the minimum requirement of participants for engagement sessions. These Telegram group chats are purely for engagements. So it's a group chat where we'll send out the engagements that we are doing for our partner beneficiaries and the events that we'll be doing for them. Yeah. And also I would talk to Ben. I would ask him, so why can't your members make it? Because I think that it's very important for us to recognize that for red and flag, it's red and flag. So if I were to be there, if I have my subcommittees members be there for red, right? I would like to have your subcommittee members to be there for mine. I think it's important that we help each other out in this sense, and that if there are any tensions between any of the subcommittee members, that they let us know immediately, and yeah, ensure that we hit the minimum amount so that things can go smoothly. Right. So this question, participants and flag dating cans were unaccounted for. When I first heard this question, I was shocked. I was like, actually, like if this kind of thing happened to me, I would have to stay very calm. But I would be very shocked, first of all. But the first stage, I'll put it into stages for you guys. So for the stage 1, right, I'll do immediate contact and search and rescue. I will have to make sure that the flaggers on that day itself are, if they're unresponsive, I'll do immediate search and rescue. And then stage 2, I'll ensure that I inform BPFOC and about this. This is BPFOC. I'll ensure that I inform NUSU that is in charge of flag, and I'll inform the president about this, because this is a huge thing that this is a very big problem that we have to solve, because if it comes to a stage where regulars are unaccounted for and the tin cans are unaccounted for, we have to take into account making a police report. So I'm not too sure how NUSU will have to do about this, but when the time comes, when they brief us about it, I'll ensure that all my subcommittee members are aware of the importance of keeping track of their flaggers and making sure that they are accounted for, so that such things do not happen. And I'll emphasize this over and over again, because this is a very big issue if a member and a tin can goes missing. Yes. And obviously, at these stages, right, my subcommittee members will already be aware. So the search and rescue would have to we would spread around the area to try to locate the person that went missing. In the chance that we found them already, they will have to answer to not just us, but NUSU also, because this is a very serious issue as to why they are unaccounted for. Yeah, so this is my course of action for the event.
We have a proposal to close the Q&A for the nominee Yo Chang for the popular effect director for the 46 and start
You have a second for this motion, Dylan?
I was Sasha Dylan, year 1 life sciences, would like to second this motion.
Okay, can. Yeah. All right. Okay, I can send you. Congratulations, you have passed the vote of confidence and you are now returned as the flag director of the 46 SMC. Anything to say to them?
Thank you guys for voting me in. I look forward with working with you guys, and if you want to know my tele handle, just let me know. I'm always open to chat, especially if you want to play volleyball, badminton, or eat hot hideout. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Is this your bottle, by the way? Okay. Can. All right. May I have a proposal to close the portfolio of flag director for the 46 Science Club Management Committee? Jim Fong. May I have a seconder for his motion, Dylan?
I also Dylan, year 1 license.
Okay, we have a proposal to close Route 4 of the internal elections of the 46 Science Club Management Committee. Jim Fong. May I have a seconder for his motion, Dylan? May I have a proposal to end the internal elections of the 46 Science Club Management Committee? Jim Fong. May I have a seconder for his motion, Dylan? Okay.